This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised as some cases contain graphic content. We mean no disrespect to anyone we discuss in this podcast except our exes. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. However, we will be expressing our personal opinions. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Hey guys, it's Cynthia.
And I'm Wes, and this is Love and Luminol, a true crime podcast.
Yay. Sorry we missed last week, but we're here.
No, we're not.
What?
We're not sorry.
Like, what kind of shit is that? I'm sorry.
I'm not. We had shit to do. Deal with it.
But today, a-hole.
No, we are sorry.
That's what we thought.
Sorry your feelings got hurt.
Oh my. I'm getting spicy with your age.
What? Yeah. Deal with it.
Regardless, we're going to discuss Jeff Gebhardt today.
Jeff, what?
Gebhardt. I know there's an R in there, but it's not supposed to be.
Okay.
Gebhardt.
I'm just double checking because
Gebhardt.
I'm looking at the spelling and it's got an R before that B, so I thought it was Gerbhardt.
No,
but it's
Gebhardt.
Gebhardt?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You never heard of him?
I have not.
Well, you're about to learn some shit. Let's get into
About
it.
to learn some shit.
Let's roll.
We about to learn you some shit. There we go.
If you've been on our TikTok, you saw we're on a new book, a horror book. Last one was supposed to be a horror book, but didn't tickle any of our fancies. Wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. This one's creeping me out some. I'll get the creeps.
What was the last? I forget what the last one.
Come Closer, Possession,
Oh,
Mental
yeah,
Health.
it wasn't scary. It was good though.
It was good. This one's good, and it creeps me out.
This one is not creeping me out at all.
It's
It's a good book so far,
Yes.
but it's definitely not scaring me or creeping me out or anything.
Creeps me out. But it says it's going to be a movie someday. That would,
I'm excited. Now,
Yeah.
the movie, in movie format, it probably would creep me out.
yeah.
But the book is not creep. No. It's a good book, though. So
I'd
far.
say we'd probably wrap this one up sometime this week. So be on the lookout for book talk.
Say the next couple of days.
Just flying through it, but
Yeah.
you got anything you want to discuss before we jump on this case?
Not that I can think of.
Get the balls rolling.
They're fine.
Anyway, Jeff Gebhardt.
All right. Gebhardt.
Hart. However you'd say that. Full name Jeffrey Sean Gebhardt.
Okay.
35 years old.
Alrighty.
And there's a picture of him. I know I didn't use my app for this one.
Good.
Because there wasn't a whole lot of pictures I could... Like I said, this one didn't have a whole lot of pictures.
Well, every time you use the
So-
app, it makes him, like, it does something to the pictures, and, like, they'll have, like, I don't know, something will
But-
be off. At least this is the original picture, what it's supposed to look like, so.
A blurry, fuzzy picture.
Well,
I did see I was watching a documentary on Netflix, and they used the same program I did. It
did
looked
they
like,
explain why they had an extra ear?
No, they just showed the picture, and I could tell, like, the eyes were really big and, like, detailed, and then the rest was kind of fuzzy, and I was like, they use the same one
Yeah.
app, one eye sideways. It's like, they use the app I use. But other people use it.
Okay. I'm just
fine.
saying, like, when people have, like, one eye really big and the other one small for some reason, or they have
Yeah.
something that looks like an additional ear on top of their ear, then, you know,
Looks a little funky.
it doesn't look like it's supposed to, so.
Yeah. This picture's not bad. As we go along, these pictures can get pretty blurry.
That's fine. They're
But-
blurry. They're real, though.
Other than that, that's all I got. He was native of Winter Haven, Florida.
Okay.
His parents were Marcia? Yeah, Marcia and
Marcia.
Lewis. Well, it's Marcia.
Marcia.
Marcia? Marcia and Lewis. That was Marcia. That's Lewis. See, the picture's a little blurry, but you can tell
He seems goofy.
he does.
He's like, eh.
He does. And there's Marcia.
She's the serious one.
She's the serious one in that relationship.
Yeah.
He's the goofball.
Uh-huh.
But there is one brother I'm going to talk about because I know there's a few. I don't know how many brothers or sisters he's got. There's one that's mentioned in my research, a Jason.
Okay.
And that's him.
Okay.
But Jeff lived with his parents at the time, and they lived in Blairsville, Georgia. It's a very small town. Like there's a little picture of their courthouse in the center. Almost looks like a little town square.
Yeah.
They have. There's an old theater that says noises off a zany comedy. So yeah, nice little small town. His nickname was Pooh Bear.
Pooh Bear.
Yeah. He was studying computer science at the local college.
Mm-hmm.
He worked out, he ran regularly, and rarely consumed any alcohol. He was as healthy as a horse, they'd say.
Okay.
And he worked at a North Georgia slaughterhouse called Chambers Slaughterhouse.
Alrighty.
Interesting line. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do that either.
I couldn't. He killed pigs and cows, packaged the meat, and made sausage.
Alrighty.
Well, that's a... Power to him, but we're going to jump to September 22nd of 2012.
Okay. Not
Right.
too far long. Too far long ago. Can't speak.
I know. It's
Not
Sunday
too
night.
far long.
Just go with this, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as you could have guessed by his profession, all that, he was wanting to go hunting. He's a hunter.
Sure. I mean, you spend 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, killing things. What do you want to do on the weekend? Let's go kill some shit.
Sounds right. But he's going to bring along. We can't talk today. He's going to bring along his friend David Charles Smith.
Okay. Uh-oh. David Charles Smith.
Why?
Oh, no.
You know him?
Usually when you say all three names,
Something happened?
they did something.
They did something. They originally planned to catch alligators,
Alrighty.
but ended up hunting for deer instead.
Easier target.
Yeah, we won't lose an arm that way, probably. But they went hunting in Clarks Hill Wildlife Reserve on September 22nd, 2012.
That's illegal, isn't it?
No?
You can go hunting on a wildlife reserve. Usually those are where they protect like you're not supposed to there.
Well, there was a special, because he was among 286 hunters who turned out for the September 21st through 23rd early firearms hunt.
Oh, I must be wrong on this because usually I thought that if it's a reserve, it means that like they're reserving like the animals, like you're not supposed to touch them.
Yeah, I know. Like at the state park nearby, they have certain areas where they're like no hunting past here.
Yeah.
But this was a 12,700 acre reserve.
Okay.
So there may have been a spot somewhere they could. Who knows? But yeah, usually you're not supposed to. But they had this 3-day early firearms hunt. And they decided they're going to set up a camping area and then just go hunting a few nights.
Okay.
So they set up their camping area and they decided to split up to hunt in different places, and they planned to meet back up at dark.
All right.
So Jeff calls David around sundown to tell him that he is lost. Hunter.
Alrighty.
So he's lost. David asked him to shoot up into the air so that David could hear where he was, see if he's close, what general direction to go.
Mm-hmm.
David heard the shot that Jeff did, but other hunters were driving by around the same time, and so they picked up Jeff and dropped him off at the campsite.
Okay.
Just luck that they were driving by while he was shooting up in the sky.
Hey, you! Stop shooting up in there and hop in the truck. Let's go.
Let's go. But he said he's lost, but if they were driving by...
He must have been close to a road.
Close to a road, that's what I was thinking. Who knows? But he and David set back out the next day to do some more hunting. That was on the 23rd of September.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff gets turned around again, trying to find his way back to camp. So he got lost both nights they hunted.
I don't know. This guy doesn't seem like he belongs out in the wilderness.
Well, it's a 12,000 acre.
I'm just saying. Like,
I don't know. I mean, usually hunting, you kind of want to know where you go and how to get back, because if he was to actually get a deer, is he going to be like...
You going to drag that thing all the way back and then be like, oh, I went 3 miles in the wrong direction.
Yeah, you want to know where you're going so you don't have to drag your prize around. Yeah, it would. But he gets lost again. So David didn't hear him call the first time, so he saw he got a voicemail from Jeff. He's like, okay, what's going on? But then Jeff, he also had 5 more missed calls from him, and David finally got in touch with him, and Jeff tells him that he's lost again. So David said to honk, Jeff asked David to honk his horn.
Okay.
See if he can hear him, and then Jeff ended up shooting 2 times up in the air so that David could hear him. And David guessed that Jeff was within 5 kilometers from him.
Okay.
Fairly close. At 10:24 p.m., David hadn't heard from Jeff for 2 hours. Couldn't get a hold of him, so he calls 911. And he said that Jeff was lost, and they're part of the woods. It's getting dark, or it is dark at that point.
Well, yeah, it's like...
He's like, he's lost.
11 o'clock at night?
I don't want something to happen to him. I can't find him. So at 11 p.m., which is a half hour later, 2 deputies showed up at the scene. Mm-hmm. It is the Wilkes County Sheriff Department. So they searched around for him for about an hour. And then at midnight, a state patrol helicopter was sent up to fly over the wood area to look.
Okay.
Have like a bird's eye view. And then 5 hours after the 911 call, the helicopter spotted Jeff's body.
Oh, shit.
Out in the field, yep. So at 3 a.m., they discovered his body. He was laying on his back with his hands on his chest, and the area where his body was found was deeply overgrown. And I have pictures kind of where you see it's got weeds, and it's blurry, but you can kind of see it's about waist-high grass out through there in the corners.
Yeah.
So it's pretty overgrown where he was. They quickly ruled out robbery since all of his belongings were strewed around him. Like all his stuff. His orange vest, in his backpack, his rifle, his folding Kershaw knife, he had mud-covered flashlight, and a Boston Red Sox hat was all found around his body.
That's weird.
Thrown about, yep. And at 6 a.m., David was interviewed at the scene. They photographed David's hands and collected his belongings as evidence. And then 2 days later, September 25th, the police announced the cause of death as homicide.
Oh.
Yeah. The Georgia Bureau investigation brings David into the station and let him know that they believe that Jeff was murdered. They're like, I think he was murdered out there.
Yeah.
And that David is suspect number 1.
Okay.
So the medical examiner on this case was Daniel Brown.
I was about to say that's a lot of Davids.
That's a lot of D's in general.
What's with all the David?
Daniel Brown. The autopsy report stated that, quote, there was a cluster of no less than 17 sharp force injuries on the chest.
He was stabbed?
Stabbed 17 times in the chest.
Jesus.
While many were superficial, 3 of the stab wounds penetrated his heart and 1 went deep into the abdomen.
Wow.
He had a jagged cut on the webbing of the inside of his hand, like where his thumb
Defensive wound.
Yeah, where his thumb and stuff.
It means he put his hand up to stop it.
He had bruises on his head and legs. He also had scrapes on both sides of his neck. The 3 stab wounds to the heart would have killed him within minutes, is what the coroner said. Mm-hmm. And there was no alcohol or drugs in the system. So after that autopsy, it's about November of 2012 when the coroner released that he determined the cause of death is suicide.
The fuck?
Right. Suicide.
We got these cops again?
I don't think it's the same state, but it sounds
Somebody
similar.
Transferred. This is the same fucking cops.
The family had the same reaction you just did. They threw a fit.
What the fuck?
He
stabbed himself 17 times.
3 in the heart, 1 in the gut.
That's like the one person that, fucking did something to the back of their head.
Yeah, she stabbed herself in the back of the head like 8, 9 times or something. Yeah.
These people are fucking morons.
So the family reached out to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and said, we want you guys to look at this case more. Like, that's not right. So they did their 10-month-long investigation.
10 months.
The GBI found no evidence of criminal conduct. The only footprints found in the lake's drought-parched shoreline belonged to Jeff. As you see, it was overgrown, muddy.
Okay.
There was only his footprints around there.
Okay.
That's all they could find. They tasted. No, they didn't.
I would hope not.
They tested David's clothes and knife for blood, and nothing was found except some animal blood on the knife. And, of course, David's. That's it.
Okay.
The angles were all in one particular direction and could have been done with Jeff's right hand. All the stab wounds were slanted the right direction. Oh, my God. But my question was, he had a gun. Why stab yourself 17 times when you could shoot yourself once? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because they said they found his rifle like laying next to him over there.
Yeah.
So that
would have been an easy one.
Yeah. That's the only thing that's confusing me. But
that's the only thing that's confusing you?
There's more things confusing me. That's a major thing confusing me. But a grand jury was called to review the autopsy and decide if the case can be closed as a suicide or if they needed to investigate.
Please tell me somebody is not in this movie Idiocracy that we just watched again.
August 7th of 2013, Toombs? Yeah, Toombs. Toombs. Judicial Circuit District Attorney's Office released a statement stating that the case was closed due to the grand jury coming to a conclusion. He said the case was closed, quote, based upon the opinion of State Medical Examiner Daniel Brown that all wounds, including the fatal ones on Mr. Gebhardt's, were self-inflicted. End quote.
I was wrong.
They were.
They're definitely from the movie Idiocracy.
I have to say, yeah. His parents and his brother believe foul play was involved because the knife was half closed and underneath his body. You tell he was laying on his back, hands on his chest, and the knife was underneath of him.
This is just stupid.
You're going to be mad. The autopsy report stated that the majority of the wounds were from a smooth blade knife.
Let me guess, the knife he had was not a smooth blade.
No, the injury to his right hand was from a jagged knife.
Okay.
But they're thinking...
They're thinking he cut his hand the day before?
Stabbing himself. They're thinking that while stabbing himself and getting the knife all bloody and stuff, his hand slid up the blade and ripped the...
But it was done with a jagged knife, not a smooth knife.
But for some reason they're saying that, it's going over the hilt and all that caused some tearing, and so they think that it was done during stabbing himself. Family thinks that means that it's 2 different knives were involved.
Yeah.
So, then they believe David is not telling them everything that he knows regarding the phone conversation and what happened that night.
Okay.
Because David is not willing to discuss what was said during the phone conversation that occurred that night with Jeff. When Jeff said he's lost and stuff, he wasn't willing to go into detail about what that phone conversation, what all was on there.
I don't understand what would be on that call other than, can you tell me what you're close to? Hey, let's do this honk gunshot thing. Try to find each other. Yeah. I don't understand. Did they get
Unless he was never lost, and that was...
They get in some deep therapy on the phone, and you can't discuss... I don't understand. I
don't know. But when his parents asked David if he thinks another person could be involved, he would not answer them.
He just sat there silently?
He's like, I ain't going to say nothing.
Yeah.
Plead the fifth.
That seems a little sus.
But an accident also seemed improbable to his family. Because, I mean, obviously, how can you accidentally get stabbed 17 times?
I mean, once maybe, but...
But they said he's a very cautious hunter. He always wore a body harness in his tree stand, and he unloaded his rifle after climbing down. Marsha was a nurse and did not see any signs of mental health in Jeff, and he told his parents he was the happiest he's ever been just a couple days before this hunting trip.
I don't know.
So, and that's him, his room. But his friends and family believe that he accidentally stumbled upon a crime being committed out in the woods.
Okay.
Like some kind of dealing. The town is known for methadone trafficking.
Okay.
So a lot of drug trafficking. They think it's possible he stumbled upon a drug deal out there. The coroner told his parents if more evidence was found, he would be willing to change the cause of death. He said, you bring me something.
The 17 stab wounds weren't enough?
Yeah, you bring me something more concrete to convince me otherwise. I'll change it. But...
You tell me why we should think that these 17 stab wounds were not self-inflicted, and maybe we'll look into it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. But the case is still classified as suicide and
of course
closed
it is.
Until they can bring more evidence forward.
Okay.
So you're like, bless it.
So we didn't do an episode last week. Why did we do this one?
Why? It was just one. You're like, why?
Why did we do this? This is just dumb.
There's episode. The first picture I showed you had ID in the corner because there was a whole episode on what was it called? I don't know. I watched so many shows.
It was on the channel ID.
Yeah, it's on the
Okay.
ID channel. I think it was something they do. Still a mystery. Still a mystery. That's it. I had to think.
I mean,
It's still a mystery. They
it's
did
a
an
mystery
episode on
who
it.
killed him, but it's definitely not a mystery that he was
He
killed.
was killed. His parents, I don't know. Because you run through, I was thinking maybe if David was out there doing a drug deal and he walked up on him.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's hard
Maybe.
to say.
I don't know.
Is only his footprints out there around him?
Yeah, that's another weird thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I get why the cops are like, who else? There's no evidence that anybody else was out here, but at the same time,
How?
dude did not stab himself 17 times.
No way. I cut my finger and I'm
No.
like, no.
Even if you had the guts to do it once, right? You'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, and you would have aimed for a serious spot right off the bat. Why would I? Like,
Yeah.
and
hit
all
3
over my
times in the
chest and
heart.
my stomach, and
Yeah.
why would you? If you have the balls to stab yourself to try to kill yourself, you're gonna hit one spot that you know is gonna do the most damage. That's gonna take you out. You're not gonna sit there and stab over and over in different areas.
True.
It doesn't make sense. It's just stupid.
It is, but I said even it said 3 of those stab wounds hit his heart. That enough is ouch. To do it 2 more times after it went to the heart the first time is just crazy.
And on top of that, you add 14 others in different areas, or 15 others.
Mm-hmm.
My math sucks.
It's late. And on the show, his brother made the point like what he stabbed himself because the coroner said it once the wounds to the heart. The first stab wound to the heart would have done him in a few minutes. He'd been dead. So he's going to stab himself, then fold the knife halfway up and lay down on top of the knife. And just lay his hands on his chest and just wait.
And scrape up his neck and bruise himself all over the place. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Yeah, his brother's like, I figured if he was
So
stabbed...
he beat the shit out of himself, then stabbed himself 17 times.
Well, he was in the woods. I mean, you could run into bushes and tree limbs.
I guess, but I don't know.
I was thinking his brother's like, I'm thinking if I stab myself once, I'm not going to do it 17 times. But second, I'm going to hit my knees and fall forward. I'm not going to fold the knife up, lay down on top of it, and then just set my hands on my chest and lay there.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be laying however I land.
Yeah.
But
none of it makes any sense.
And that he also had a rifle with him, which I mean,
that would have been the easy way.
How long the rifle is if he could
it doesn't
reach
matter.
Was he Kurt Cobain it with his toe?
Sure.
Like,
or you get Courtney loved to help.
She waiting up there in the woods. It depends on. I haven't. If he could reach it to get it, maybe he's like, I can't fucking reach it, so now I got to go with this. But still, 17 times is a little much.
It is.
I mean, I've heard of people slitting their wrists or throat or something.
So, I mean, I have someone I knew that killed themselves with a gun, and they put the gun in their mouth, and they pulled the trigger twice.
Is that a short gun?
Yeah. Oh. But I'm just saying, like, that's twice. That I don't know how they got the strength
to do it a second time.
To do it a second time, but that's fucked up. But imagine you taking a knife and just saying, you know what, let's just keep going.
Times.
Like that doesn't make sense.
No.
It's hard enough to believe that somebody could pull the trigger twice like that, but let alone take a knife and just keep stabbing.
Yeah, that's awful.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, and I figure if he was that determined that he's living with his parents, they would have noticed something. Instead of him saying he's the happiest he's ever been. And prayed, you know, his mom's like, I'm a nurse. I didn't notice any kind of mental distress in him.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a little hard though, because a lot of those people will not show you. They know how to hide it.
So that's what I was just thinking when I said it. Like, I'm the happiest. I said it could have been like a sarcastic kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm great.
But at the same time, regardless, the 17 stab wounds is enough.
Lot.
I don't know. I can't explain who did it. Why there's no footprints. Why there's no evidence of anybody else around. But I am 100% sure he did not stab himself 17 times in different areas.
Bless his heart. No.
He would have went straight for the heart, something that he would kill him quickly. He wouldn't just keep stabbing all over the place in his abdomen.
Well, it said deep in the gut, and then 3 in the heart. And that's 4 out of that's 13 other ones that are.
Yeah. It doesn't make no sense.
No. But that's the case of Jeff. Horribly sad. Thoughts out to his family, friends.
Yeah.
David, if you know anything, say it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's awfully sad. If it was a suicide, I don't think it was.
Oh my! There's no point in even saying if it was. There's no way. There's no way. I'm with the family. It makes no damn sense.
No.
Regardless if he had mental health issues or not, like that still makes no sense.
No. But regardless, thoughts out. If anybody's feeling that kind of way, reach out. There's a hotline. There's your family, friends. I mean, reach out to somebody. I feel like people are like, I don't want to bother people. You can bother whoever you want to bother. Bother everybody. Just don't.
And there's also 24-hour lines that you're not bothering anybody because that's what they're there for.
So don't ever think that. Reach out. Hotline, family, friends, therapists, anybody.
Yeah. But again, this is not one of those scenarios.
He's like, this is not it. Sad, but that's all.
Yeah.
It's a doozy coming back from your break.
Yeah. Yeah. We take a break and we come back to...
And you're like, why?
A guy supposedly stabbing himself 17 times. Yeah.
No.
I'm starting to think... I'm starting to think that perhaps the cops need better training.
This was the coroner.
Yeah, but even the cops thought, they even pushed it in that direction. Like, I don't...
No, because remember they said... What did they say? They quickly ruled out a robbery.
Yeah, but the cops said that as long as somebody provides some additional evidence, they might look into it more. But
no, that was the coroner.
The coroner doesn't investigate
because the police, on the September 25th, the police announced the cause of death as homicide. And then the autopsy came out and said suicide.
Well, shit. Okay.
Yeah, and the coroner said, I'll change it if you bring me something evidence-wise.
But that's what I'm saying. That part makes no sense. Like, you don't bring evidence to the coroner. The coroner literally just looks at the body and says what they think happened. Yeah. How the hell does the coroner even get to a suicide? You're looking at a dead body with 17 stab wounds in it.
Right.
No information about the crime scene whatsoever. You're just looking at the body. Where do they get suicide?
He had to have crime scene info.
And the only crime scene info that would have even suggested that is there's no other footprints anywhere.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with the coroner.
Mm-hmm.
The only person who looks into that is the detectives trying to solve the case.
So I think it's just a matter of, obviously, the cops chatting, and something came out like, oh, there's no other footprints there. And then the kind of led the coroner one way or the other.
Yeah,
And that's just a part
they're
of
not
just,
supposed to lead the coroner.
Drop the body off and leave. Don't disclose any information because that could sway.
The coroner is supposed to give them information to help their case. The coroner's job is just to look at the body and find what the manner of death was.
Yeah, because the cops got there and like it wasn't a robbery, but they ruled it homicide right away.
Well, obviously.
Pulled their friend in, put his friend in, interviewed him, told him he's his number one suspect. And the coroner comes out and be like, suicide.
I'm curious if the suspect and the coroner know each other. Just curious.
Daniel Brown was David's last name.
I think it was different last names when you said it. But I'm just saying, like, that it's odd that the police would be like, yeah, we're thinking it's a homicide. This guy's our suspect. And then they drop the body off and then suddenly it's a suicide. Like out of nowhere.
Possible. They said it's a very small town.
Either that or I'm going to throw this out there. I don't know this coroner. But
What?
they did say that there was a drug situation in this area. What if the coroner is part of that drug situation?
And the friend?
I don't know about the friend, but what if the coroner is? What if he knew like what really happened there and he just marked it a suicide to
Stop the investigation.
stop the investigation?
Possible.
I mean, not the first time I've heard of people transporting drugs and dead bodies. I'm just saying.
I just thought you were going to go the route of the friend was doing a drug deal or something. He caught him. Friend got rid of him. And then the friend's like, listen, to the coroner, like, if this can get back to you because you're in the same business I'm in.
Yeah. I mean, that's possible too. I'm just saying.
They pulled me in. I'm a suspect. They're going to close in on you.
I mean, I've heard of like people transporting drugs and dead bodies and stuff. So coroner would be the one to get those bodies.
True.
Perhaps the bodies come in for him to look at. He opens them up, takes the drugs out. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas.
I know. This is where it would be nice to know, like, the steps. Like, did the coroner get there and the police there? Did the police take the body to the coroner? Is the coroner there when they were interviewing the David, kind of see? Does the coroner know David? Like, see the steps where this went.
It is a small town, too, so I wouldn't be surprised if they knew each other.
Mm-mm. Did they just drop the body and all the files off and say, here, go over it and see, what? You got to know the steps, then you can say that's where it went wrong.
He should just be looking at the body and that's it.
Well, yeah. But a small town, I doubt this happens very often. So, people like gossip.
Hey, dude, check this out.
They're like,
look what we found. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he would have noticed in the notes stuff, and that would have led him one way or the other, but... No. Yeah. Awful. Uh-huh. Definitely needs looked at more by different people.
Yeah.
by different people.
There's that guy who does autopsies like later. Like he will like look at other autopsies and then go over it again and like.
Is it that one?
I can't think of his name. Man. He's an older guy and he does those crime shows a lot. Like he'll go back.
Did he do? I think I saw him on. Was it John? Yeah, I think it's John Bonet.
Yeah, I think he did do that one. It's
Nicole
like a secondary.
Brown
yeah. But he's known for like going in and like going the exact opposite what the original coroner said, and he's like, no, they're fucking stupid.
Well, the guy I'm thinking of is kind of like what you're saying this one, because he did the autopsy, but then he's like, these footprints here, like he did. He also included some evidence in there. Like,
but he's also not the
she was stabbed
original.
Here, then footprints wouldn't be over here.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's the same guy, but even in that scenario, he's just taking a second look at the case in general because he knows how to do that stuff. But the actual coroner doing their job for that should not be looking at all kinds of shit. He should just be looking at the body and find the matter.
They just need to bring
the
like
manner of death.
just the the autopsy and the photos and the drawings of the wounds and stuff, and bring that and just hand it to somebody else. But this is all you get. What can you see?
mean, they're supposed to say how they deem the death. Like, was it suicide? Was it homicide?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Was it unknown? Like, they can do that. Natural death, etc. That's their job, but their job is not to take in everything from the crime scene to figure that out. They're just looking at the body to figure that.
That's what I'm saying. They need to take just the autopsy report,
body, the blood
and
tests,
the photos,
and, what they have in front of them.
Photos in the morgue and stuff, and give it to a whole new coroner. And be like, what do you think of this?
Yeah. Somebody else needs to definitely take a look.
Yes,
because it's pretty damn obvious that it's a homicide. They just need to investigate on who did it.
Yeah, they just need to.
And by not classifying a homicide, the cops aren't going to be looking for who did it.
Even then, if the coroner wasn't 100% sure, he could have ruled undetermined.
He could have, but evidently he was 100% sure for some reason. And how do you be 100% sure with 17 stab wounds to someone?
Like, if there's even a little bit of doubt, they're supposed to rule undetermined.
Mm-hmm. Undetermined is perfectly fine. And the fact that he didn't have
any doubt whatsoever that this was not
undetermined would have been perfectly fine, and it would have kept the cops continuing the investigation.
Yeah.
But as soon as you say suicide, they close it.
Yep.
And
Closed,
stupid
done.
Because this is obviously not a suicide.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm like, how did this coroner not have a single doubt? I'd been like, wait.
That's like, why I say that there's something fishy about that coroner.
Yeah.
Making that judgment call, right, like with that. That's crazy. There's no way.
No, to look at
that's
that.
Like the one thing
that's 100%.
That's the one thing anybody with common sense would know it wasn't a suicide. Mm-hmm. That's the one call that nobody could make.
Because even if everything lined up, just the thought asking, can someone actually physically stab themselves 17 times like that? That gives you doubt. Yeah, that's enough doubt to be like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't have to explain.
Undetermined.
Yeah, I don't have to explain the one clear footprints or nothing. I just know that I'm not 100% sure this is one way or the other. So
yeah, and that would have been a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Because then they could still look into it and maybe one day rule it one way or the other. But should have at least let it continue its investigation.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we got. You got anything for these poor people?
I don't. This is horrible.
After you drop that big F-bomb, he goes, what the
fuck?
He goes, what the fuck? That's what his parents said. They got the same call.
I bet.
Uh-huh. Any news for the good people?
Nope. No news.
Still working on the studio. Your half's painted.
Yeah, we got half of it painted.
Half of it drywalled. Plastered.
It's all drywalled. It's now all plastered and half of it's painted.
Yes.
So
getting there.
We're getting there. We're going to have it eventually.
Eventually.
And once we have that done, we'll have a whole new intro. We'll have new setup. We'll have everything different. And then we will dive into possibly the Love and Illuminati as well at that point.
I'm not going to be able to wear my pajamas because I'm going to be sitting in a chair in Broadview.
That's right.
Here in my pajama shorts and my blanket and my T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that no more.
Nope. It's going to be like when we used to do it on the couch.
Oh, yeah. You're going to change the game.
Except we won't have a flat wall behind us, which throws everything off and makes it look horrible.
Yeah.
You got to have some space behind you. Some depth.
You got some depth.
We'll still have depth.
And Batman stuff.
Yeah, we'll still have depth.
Good deal.
We just, we're going to be more visible. So,
visible.
Got to wear your pants.
I got to wear pants.
She's not wearing pants right now.
I got my blankie. I'm going to have to.
It's coming off. I can see a lot.
gonna have to take. I'm still gonna take my blanket out there.
That's fine.
I'll just have to wear pants under my blanket.
Don't have to wear pants when she does these, folks.
I'm gonna miss being able from the chest up's all you get. But I ain't got nothing.
Me either. All right. Well, like and subscribe if you feel like it.
We're all about freedom of choice.
We're all about free will. It's okay. Check out our website, loveandluminol.com, where you can find links to both our video and audio podcasts and where they are. It will also have a contact form if you want to contact us and bitch us out or tell us we're great. Either way is cool. We are on social media everywhere except for X. Fuck Elon Musk. Even though we have a Tesla. We bought it used, folks.
Yeah,
we bought it used. We did not give
used.
him any money.
Don't start. Contradict yourself in the same 2 minutes.
We bought it used. We're still all about fuck Elon Musk. But we don't mind having the car. We're just not going to buy it. We're just not going to buy it from him.
No.
Anyway, everywhere except for X, it's at Love and Luminol. If you don't feel like searching for us, on our website, there are links to that as well. You can also Google us. I'm serious. Just Google Love and Luminol.
If you don't like searching for us, it's on the website. If you like to search for us, Google it.
If you don't feel like going to a website and going,
you have
just
options.
You have options here. Just Google us, Love and Luminol. We're the first one that pops up because we've got such an awesome name.
We did. Didn't take us 4 months to think of.
No, we didn't. Took me like 20 seconds.
Oh, please. Proud of
Love
himself.
and Luminol. Followed by Love and Illuminati. See?
Now that one. You like that one.
That one took me a minute. But I wanted it as close to Love and Luminol as possible.
Yeah.
But go more towards the conspiracy ideas. And I thought, that's fucking awesome. Wait till you guys see the logo. The logo's badass.
I didn't even see the logo.
Yes, you have. It's the same logo, except instead of the heart, it's the all-seeing eye pyramid.
Oh.
And then I have tape over the end of Luminol, so it says Illuminati. That's like tape with writing on it, like you just taped over the word Luminol. It's fucking badass. I love that. I love that logo.
He's so proud of that logo. You know what your first cake's gonna be?
I don't yet.
Oh.
I don't. I'm gonna do some.
It's a series premiere.
It is, and I'm not sure exactly which one we're gonna do, but we got some time still because we got to finish the building,
Yeah,
and then
you got some time to think of your.
got to finish the studio. So, but once we get it done, I got some killer ideas for that.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next
All
time.
right. See ya.
Bye. So Google us.